Hi there. Thanks for tuning in to Make This Happen, where we discuss an idea we've been dying to see come alive. Every week, my friend J.E. and myself, Alex Gonzalez, will bring you a product you never knew you needed. Now let's get started with how Jay's doing today. How are you doing?
Doing all right. I'm a couple beers in at this point. I haven't eaten much today, like I mentioned earlier, but so it's hitting me. It's getting to me. We'll see how this goes.
I'm sure it'll go great. And afterwards, you got some nice, good chicken ramen on the way.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what we're leading off with, and if you guys heard in the background, is the topic of the show, dogs. And what I want to create is something, I want to create a futuristic, pragmatic, not so simple way of taking care of dogs. Now, usually people have doggy daycares, and sometimes people will have walks that they do with the dogs. I'm thinking about creating a space where you use the best of technology to not only maybe train dogs, but also to exercise dogs. I'm thinking something where you're creating not exactly rides, but experiences for dogs to exercise, and where you could best use the space for like almost like a dog fun center. And the way this would be created would be maybe you'd have a big space with natural grass or, turf, and it'll be indoors. And then you could broadcast on different screens. For my dog, for instance, you would broadcast birds and you would have the real noises, and maybe you would have a couple that would be attached and animatronic. And then then there would be sensors and stuff. And once you let the dog go, it would chase after these birds, and it could do so in a lap, going around, and it could even drop off some birds so that the dog has a reward. And these things could be set up so that the dogs go through that. They do like a 15-minute exercise. They cool down, get some water. And while they go around again, almost like a theme park ride, the next set of dogs goes. But maybe this is terriers. So now you're setting up rats burrowing through different holes, and you're creating a different kind of environment. What are you thinking, Jay?
So it's
like a dog family, not like a dog fun place that's like daycare, but with an emphasis on training and getting your dogs tired in a real way.
Are the owners there?
No, the owners can be dropped off into a welcoming staff that they know they can trust. But you can stay there if you would like.
Is there a human being there?
Yeah, there's got to be someone there to make sure nothing goes wrong.
Okay.
Like, you can't keep it completely automated.
I was like, is this just like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like me.
Like you sit there, you put your debit card in, a little doggy door opens up, you put your dog in there, and then it's like, and then you get like a little PIN code on your phone or like a QR so that you have to scan in to get your dog back.
I was like, what if your dog just doesn't want to even participate? Like, it's just.
I think if there's a dog that doesn't want to participate, then you would that dog would go into, maybe it's a low energy dog, maybe it's a dog that has anxiety. It'll go into maybe of a more calming room where maybe there's a creek, there's gentle grass, there's soothing sounds, and a soundscape reflective of that. Like
a sun lamp to.
Exactly. So it would almost be like the equivalent of a dog spa per se.
Okay. All right. First thing is we can't make it as specific as you got, where it's like there's a room or setting for every single breed of dog. You know what I mean? And then like it gets complicated when people bring in like a mutt like mine, where it's like, what are you going to do?
I think you could have maybe, like you said, maybe 4 or 5 marquee experiences, and then you would fill out a questionnaire that would help us best place your dog in the best experience.
I think instead what we would do is the first day it's a owner and dog tour / orientation.
Okay.
And you bring your dog to various rooms, and then you also go in with a specialist that has done this job for a while now, and gauge your dog's interest in each of the separate rooms that we have available. You know, one's focused on chasing, one's focused on burrowing, one's focused on whatever. You know, we'll have multiple rooms focus on certain things. And if a dog shows some interest, a lot of interest, or no interest, those become like various, okay, while your dog is here with us, we could take them to these rooms to find whichever one they're most interested in at that time, you know?
Yeah.
Because maybe one time your dog loves the chasing room, like every single time, but that one time they're not feeling it, you know, the specialist be like, okay, well, I noticed when they first came here, they kind of were interested in the swimming room, you know, and then so we'll go and have a thing, or they just want to go chill out, you know what I mean? And so we'll have multiple rooms that the dog and owner will go through and find out which ones the dog's the most comfortable with the owner and enjoys whatever activity is there. So when you're not there, the dog specialist could like figure out which room would be best for that dog, and eventually they'll know the dog and be able to, you know,
and be able to best place it and kind of move it through. So there's going to be like an ambassador for your dog that's going to help you out. And maybe like every worker has like an assigned caseload of dogs that they have to kind of watch over and make sure are having the best experience.
And I think what it would have to be is maybe what it is that there's each room has its own staff member who is great with that room. So the dog isn't going to have a staff member. The dog's going to have multiple rooms that it enjoys. And the staff member, if it's like, oh, this dog, Bruce, isn't enjoying chasing the birds around. Maybe I know that he likes to go and dig holes sometimes. I'll send him to the hole digging room. And then you call up Amy, who's in the hole digging room, and it's like, hey, Bruce isn't feeling chasing birds right now. You mind taking him over to go dig holes in your room? And then you walk him over, and then Bruce has a grand old time over there. You know what I mean? So like, each room will have a specialist that looks over the dogs, and they could tell if the dogs don't like what they're doing there, so they could send them somewhere else, you know?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm thinking this is going to be like a huge, maybe multi-building where it's connected, but like a big storage warehouse type of building where it's going to be kind of climate controlled. There's going to be,
I mean, I imagine it like a small racket club, you know what I mean? Or like a 24-hour fitness, a Gold's gym.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Similar to that, like a facility.
Yeah. Like you could even have it as like a bookend to a mall even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm thinking that's exactly where it's going to be, is going to be in high population centers, that this could be serviceable where there are people who work all day and maybe when they want to get home, they just want to enjoy their pet and would prefer them to have enriching experiences like this.
Yeah.
And maybe we even have a senior room for dogs where it's older dogs.
In like a maybe we could even have a section where it's like dogs who aren't socialized very well. We'll have specific staff that then we'll have staff that are attached to certain dogs. And then for those ones, they'll have like
maybe dogs that need a little bit more care. I guess that would be like a step up in a plan to help out with anxiety.
That plan is more like special socialization plan where you and a trainer helps this dog get more okay with other dogs slowly at a time. And then also this would have to be, you make appointments for this. Like they have to be there at a certain time so the trainer is with the dog, you know what I mean? And not leaving them alone. And so this is more exclusive and obviously more expensive.
Yeah. All right. And on top of that, I also want to make this really accessible. So the people who are dropping off their pets here obviously care more and want to invest more resources into their pet's happiness than maybe the normal pet person would or would have to, you know?
Yeah.
So I would want it to be where there's cameras set up in each and every room and you can go into a live stream to watch your dog play and frolic. And maybe this would all be accessible on our website. So even people who were interested in the club or the facility would be able to access and see what it's all about.
Yeah. And not just that, but I even think pricing wise, I don't know what you're thinking about going with this.
Please help me on this because I don't know other things like this. This has been an idea I've kicked around a little bit in my head where I almost would want to do a membership.
Okay.
You know?
That's exactly the direction I was thinking because you use doggy daycares more than I do. Because I have somewhere where I could drop my dog off to know that she has someone that would always be okay with taking care of her. You know?
By the way, that's also where I'm like the most affected by COVID is doggy daycares.
Right. And so you could probably put more insight into this, but I can imagine doggy daycares being more money than I can even imagine.
It's pretty expensive. I do it where because I'm in a rural area, I have to take her to a family that we kind of interview each other and make sure that we have the things we need. Basically, Cora just needs I take her to like a 1/2 acre, 1 acre backyard where there's another dog she can play with that they get along, similar in age. And that costs for 5 days. I think it cost me around like $200.
Okay.
So it wasn't bad, but
it's expensive, but it's not as bad as I was thinking, which gives me hope. The problem with this thing is we're having staff members. And
we got to pay people's salary.
Not just that, but it sounds like these staff members are specialized and experts in dog training and dog.
And kind of spotting transgressions and fights before they happen.
Yeah, and dog... I don't know if this is a real science, but dog
behavioral therapy and all that.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Psychology, yeah.
And so I feel like these are pretty expertise people. So this membership isn't going to be cheap, but because it's a monthly membership and all of our staff members are on salary, I guess we're probably going to have a lot of guests because everyone works, and if these are in urban populations, this is probably going to be in New York City, for example.
And I was just thinking this would be the way to solve that problem where maybe someone doesn't want necessarily a small breed of dog, but they feel bad for keeping their dog in an apartment.
Right.
This would be the place to take your dog so it's automatically fulfilled and anxiety free when you pick it up after work.
So I imagine this membership fee, I don't know. Gym memberships already are what? $150?
You'd pay like $150 down and then pay somewhere around, depending on the facility, anywhere between 15, 20, 25. If you get to Equinox and shit, it's going to be much higher.
Okay. So I can imagine this being something way more than that.
And I would say we'd have to kind of enrich the membership, huh? So we'd have to do maybe monthly postcards of the dog doing something cool. We'd have cameras so we can capture different images of dogs and put it on postcards to send to owners for little bonuses.
Or little videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that would come up in your email to make you feel good.
I guess a way to even up costs, even to get better, but then there's more people involved. Is a groomers and a branded clothing line for dogs and humans.
That would be something maybe we come later where, there's a merch where if you're part of the club, you get access to this merch where you can buy and it's dog and human merch. Maybe it matches something cool, minimalistic.
But I feel like we need that off the gate even just because.
Yeah. And I guess dog health stuff where there'd be harnesses, and this would have to be stuff that would be maybe top of the line, just really good product quality stuff, leashes.
Because I feel like
bowls.
First of all, the facility, and then the rent, and then
especially in urban areas. Yeah. I think it would have to be. Yeah.
Pricing is where I get them because I would love this. I would love for this to exist.
I would think it would have to be in shopping centers, almost where there's a Walmart and then all of a sudden, a Kmart goes out of business and then we pop up.
That's true. But I also see this being more upscale where we're not feeding these dogs Ian's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're feeding these dogs gourmet there's places
treats, very good treats that are
freeze dried and shit.
Number one ingredient is meat, has no byproducts.
There's places here in downtown LA where you go with your pet, you could order a wine to drink, and they'll give your dog like a broth mixture, and they call it like a cute cocktail name. You know what I mean? While they get a pedicure and fucking a mud bath. You know, and you could sit there with your dog and have this whole day spa experience with them, you know? And that type of shit exists. And so, like, I don't know, man. I can imagine this monthly fee being close to, like, 200. And I feel like that's not even enough.
And then 200 would be unlimited coming in visits. It wouldn't include the premium like anxiety training or personal training.
Right.
That would just
There'll
be
add-ons and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
Like,
you'd
we'll have
still get a
professional trainers on site and
profile
stuff.
built around your pet. So whenever you scan in, we know what your pet's like. We understand it. Maybe we even have like different profiles of what it likes to do based on what different employees put in, you know, for their notes for the pet. And then we'd go from there.
Yeah, like
So yeah,
this,
I think that would be good. 200 a month, and I get to bring Cora there as much as possible.
Yeah.
That's a steal, Jay. I would.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's really cheap for this service, I think, and for the facility. But if
we got enough people doing it, though,
if we got enough people.
I almost don't want to post this because this has been an idea I've had in my back pocket that I've always wanted to start, and I don't want anyone to steal.
Yeah, and like, my dog is very not that you don't have to worry as much as you have to worry about your dog in terms of energy. Like, listen to your dog right now. You know what I mean?
Like right now my dog's having a fit because I'm talking and I'm not acknowledging her and she doesn't get why.
Yeah. And so like my dog's just chilling, just at my feet right now, just hanging out and half asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I would have her in there because I know she would love it, first of all. And also, like, it would be good for her, you know? But I don't know. I feel like it should be somewhere closer to, like, $400, maybe even $500 a month. But
that's where I wouldn't be able to afford it. I think if I could even do $300 a month if I were really stretching it, you know?
How about...
But I think 250 would be the golden number.
Yeah, maybe
right
like $250 a month.
And that's unlimited. You get, you know, maybe we're closed on Sunday for deep cleaning, sanitization, and everything. And you can go, you know, Monday through Saturday, take them in through business hours and do all that. Of course, we'd have to have some kennels on site because some owners aren't going to be the best and they're going to forget about their dogs or not make it. Or, you know, emergencies do happen. Flights get canceled. So there's going to have to be something like that. But otherwise, I think this is solid. This would open up my schedule so much more. I'd be able to go on different adventures that I normally would not do as of right now because I could just drop her off and then come back.
And then, like, of course, you would have to pay extra for specific services like, anxiety services or training services, even learning tricks, and tricks meaning like even just stay and sit and stuff like that, heel and all that stuff. But a lot of our members, if this was to exist, would have added benefits that are on top of the $250 monthly service. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's where you get the video cameras going in. You can watch your dog. You can get like different profiles. We could even have it where we do, if it's okay with the doggy dress up, you know, and take pictures for them. It would be enriching, but sort of also for the owner as well, because we know these owners really almost treat their dogs as if they're children.
Most definitely. Especially nowadays.
All right. I don't know who to go for with this one, so what's the best brand? I almost want, it would be cool if this was sponsored by Origin. You know that dog food brand?
Oh, yeah, Origin.
Origin.
Just in general, Canada. Because Canada makes great doggy products. If you guys haven't found doggy products from Canada, they make the premium dog food and treats.
I do not feed my dog Origin because then she would be eating better than me.
I feed my dog Primal Raw or whatever it's called. She doesn't deserve it. No, she does.
Make this happen.
Origin.
Thanks for listening. If you have any suggestions or products you'd like to see talked about, feel free to write in at @poundgames@gmail.com. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to join the @Pound family, come find us at patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Patrons receive episodes 2 days early, meaning Make This Happen gets to your ears that much sooner. If you enjoyed our show, take a second to give us a review. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Store, and more. Catch you guys next Sunday with Jay's topic, which is...
Shit, I forgot about this part.
Catch you next Sunday with Jay's topic, which is...
You gotta give me a second, man. I gotta look shit up. I gotta figure shit out.
Cora, come. This poor dog, swear to God, thinks she's neglected. Sit. All she wants to do is go outside to stare outside, and I'm not letting her. I don't even think she's got a poop. This would be the time where I would drop her off and then pick her up, for sure.
Yeah, man, I really actually forgot to prepare something for this. So let's just go an easy way out. I know we've done this subject a lot. We'll probably not do it a lot after this, but Dragon Ball Z. Let's just do it.
I think we've done that. Okay.
We've done that like 3-4 times.
Why don't you do another mode of transportation, Jay? I feel like you would be the kind of person that would come up with a fun way to get around the city that would be stylish.
That's true. But I don't have anything on the top of my mind right now. So Dragon Ball Z.
Fuck it. Dragon Ball Z.